Most people spend their lives chasing a lifestyle. They work hard to afford comfort, status, and admiration. They measure success by what they can buy, where they can travel, and how they appear in the eyes of others. There is nothing wrong with enjoying the rewards of effort, but the danger begins when comfort becomes the final goal. A lifestyle is designed to serve you. It exists to make life easier, smoother, and more enjoyable in the moment. But the truth is simple and often uncomfortable. Lifestyles are temporary. Money can disappear, status can fade, trends can change, and applause can stop. What once felt impressive slowly loses its power, leaving many people asking why satisfaction never lasts. A legacy, on the other hand, is built on a very different foundation. It is not centered on what you consume, but on what you contribute. A legacy is about the values you live by, the example you set, and the lives you touch along the way. It is found in the way you treat people when there is nothing to gain, in the standards you uphold when no one is watching, and in the courage you show when doing the right thing is difficult. Unlike a lifestyle, a legacy is not dependent on wealth or recognition. Some of the most powerful legacies in history were built by people who never lived in luxury, yet their influence continues to shape generations. Comfort fades with time because the human mind quickly adapts. What once felt like a dream becomes normal, then expected, and eventually insufficient. The car you once celebrated becomes just another vehicle. The house you were proud of becomes just a place to sleep. Status demands constant maintenance, and the moment you stop feeding it, it begins to slip away. Impact, however, works differently. Every life you uplift, every lesson you pass on, and every act of integrity you demonstrate continues to ripple outward long after the moment has passed. Impact compounds, even when you are no longer present to witness it. Knowing the difference between a lifestyle and a legacy forces you to ask deeper questions about how you live. Are your decisions guided by short-term comfort or long-term meaning? Are you building something that serves only you or something that will serve others long after you are gone? When life becomes difficult, comfort will encourage you to quit, but legacy will remind you why you started. One seeks ease, the other demands purpose. When you shift your focus from lifestyle to legacy, success takes on a new definition. Success is no longer about how much you have, but about how much you give. It is no longer measured by applause, but by influence. In the end, people may forget what you owned, but they will remember how you made them feel, what you stood for, and the courage you showed. Comfort fades with time, but impact lives on, and choosing legacy is choosing to matter beyond yourself. Many people believe legacy is created in a single defining moment, a great achievement, a public victory, or a dramatic success that earns recognition. But the truth is far less glamorous and far more powerful. Legacy is built quietly, day by day, through discipline. It is shaped in the small decisions you make when there is no applause, no audience, and no immediate reward. What you do consistently matters far more than what you do occasionally. Daily discipline is the bridge between intention and impact. Anyone can talk about values, dreams, and purpose, but discipline is what turns those words into reality. It is waking up when motivation is low and still choosing to do the work. It is keeping your promises to yourself even when breaking them would be easier. Over time, these small acts of discipline form your character, and character is the foundation of every lasting legacy. People may forget your goals, but they will remember your consistency. Strong habits are the visible evidence of inner standards. The way you manage your time, your health, your focus, and your responsibilities reflects who you truly are. When you choose discipline over comfort, you are shaping a version of yourself that others can trust and rely on. That trust becomes influence, and influence is the true currency of legacy. You cannot inspire others to rise if you are unwilling to hold yourself to higher standards first. The most important moments for building legacy often happen when no one is watching. It's easy to perform when recognition is guaranteed, but discipline reveals itself in private. How you work alone, how you speak about others behind their backs, and how you respond to setbacks when there is no one to impress, these moments define you. Legacy is not built on image, it is built on integrity, and integrity is proven in silence. Daily discipline also teaches patience. Legacy is not rushed. It does not demand instant results or overnight success. Instead, it trusts the process and understands that meaningful growth takes time. Each disciplined day is a vote for the future you want to leave behind. Even when progress feels invisible, discipline ensures that you are moving forward. Over months and years, what once felt small becomes powerful. When discipline becomes part of your identity, your impact extends beyond you. Others begin to notice your reliability, your resilience, and your self-respect. Your actions give people permission to believe in effort, consistency, and long-term thinking. This is how legacy spreads, not through words, but through example. In the end, legacy is not created by what you claim you will do someday. It is created by what you repeatedly do today. Every disciplined choice strengthens the foundation of something that will outlast you. While moments fade, habits remain. And through daily discipline, you quietly build a legacy that stands strong long after the work is done. A life focused only on the self may achieve comfort, recognition, or temporary success, but it rarely leaves a lasting mark. True legacy begins the moment you commit to serving a purpose bigger than yourself. Service shifts your focus from personal gain to collective good, from ego to impact. When your actions are guided by purpose, your work carries meaning that reaches far beyond immediate results. It becomes part of something larger, something that continues to matter even when your name is no longer in the spotlight. Serving a higher purpose gives direction to effort. Without purpose, hard work can feel exhausting and empty, especially when progress is slow or obstacles appear. Purpose provides the why that keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. When your work is connected to helping others, uplifting communities, or building something meaningful, fatigue loses its power. Challenges no longer feel like barriers. They become responsibilities worth carrying. This is how service transforms struggle into strength. When ego leads, decisions are driven by validation, applause, and personal recognition. Ego asks, "What do I get?" Purpose asks, "Who benefits?" This shift changes everything. Work done for ego demands constant praise and external approval. The moment recognition disappears, so does motivation. Work done for purpose, however, remains steady. It is resilient, patient, and deeply rooted. Purpose does not depend on attention, it thrives on impact. That is why those who serve something bigger than themselves are able to endure criticism, delay, and sacrifice without losing direction. Service also multiplies influence. People are naturally drawn to those who genuinely care about others. When your actions consistently reflect service, trust grows. Trust leads to respect, and respect leads to influence. This kind of influence is not forced, it is earned. It is built through empathy, consistency, and sincerity. Over time, your example encourages others to adopt the same mindset, creating a ripple effect that expands your impact far beyond your individual effort. Committing to service does not mean neglecting personal growth or success. In fact, it often accelerates both. When you align your talents with a meaningful cause, your work becomes more focused and powerful. You stop chasing shallow wins and start building something that matters. Success achieved through service carries weight because it improves lives, strengthens values, and creates opportunity for others. That is the kind of success that stands the test of time. A lasting legacy is never built in isolation. It is woven through relationships, contributions, and shared progress. When you serve a purpose bigger than yourself, your life becomes a source of inspiration rather than comparison. People may forget your titles or achievements, but they will remember how your presence made a difference. In the end, legacy is not about being remembered for who you were, but for what you gave. And when purpose leads and service guides, your influence becomes powerful, enduring, and impossible to erase. Many people admire the idea of leaving a legacy, but far fewer are willing to accept the price that comes with it. Legacy is not built in comfort. Comfort invites you to stay where you are, to choose what feels easy, familiar, and safe. It whispers that you have done enough, that growth can wait, that sacrifice is unnecessary. Legacy, however, speaks a different language. It demands growth, and growth always requires sacrifice. There is no lasting impact without the willingness to give up something now for something greater later. Sacrifice begins with letting go of short-term ease. This might mean working when others rest, learning when others are distracted, or standing firm when compromise would be more convenient. Comfort seeks immediate relief, but legacy is focused on long-term significance. It understands that the choices that feel hardest today often produce the strongest foundations tomorrow. Every meaningful contribution in history was built on unseen effort, delayed gratification, and difficult decisions made without guarantees. Patience is another cost of legacy. In a world that celebrates quick wins and instant results, legacy moves slowly and deliberately. It is built over years, not days. Progress may feel invisible at times, and recognition may never come when you expect it. Patience teaches you to trust the process, even when the rewards are delayed. It strengthens character and reinforces commitment. Those who lack patience often abandon their path too early, mistaking slow growth for failure. But legacy grows quietly, taking root long before it is visible. Courage is the final and perhaps greatest sacrifice. Choosing legacy often means standing apart. It may require saying no to popular choices, resisting pressure, and enduring criticism. Comfort wants approval. Legacy demands conviction. Courage allows you to hold your values steady when they are challenged and to continue forward even when support is limited. This kind of courage is not loud or dramatic. It is steady, disciplined, and deeply rooted in purpose. Accepting sacrifice does not mean living without joy or fulfillment. In fact, sacrifice gives meaning to effort. When you know why you are giving something up, the struggle gains purpose. Sacrifice transforms work into mission and effort into contribution. It creates a sense of direction that comfort can never provide. The satisfaction that comes from knowing your actions matter far outweighs the temporary pleasure of ease. Legacy asks you to trade convenience for contribution, ease for impact, and comfort for growth. It's a demanding path, but it is also a meaningful one. In the end, the sacrifices you make today become the stories others draw strength from tomorrow. Comfort may feel good for a moment, but it leaves little behind. Legacy requires sacrifice, but it builds something that lasts long after the moment has passed. True leadership is never about words alone. Anyone can give advice, share slogans, or make promises, but what people remember, what truly inspires action, is what they see in practice. Leading by example means aligning your actions with your values, showing through consistent behavior the principles you believe in. It's about demonstrating the discipline, integrity, and resilience that you expect from others, and letting those qualities speak louder than any speech could. People watch, whether you realize it or not, and they often model their own behavior after what they see in action, not what they hear in words. Discipline is one of the most powerful ways to lead by example. When others see you showing up, doing the work, and honoring your commitments even when it is inconvenient, they internalize the standard you set. It is easy to tell someone to work hard or stay consistent, but witnessing someone maintain focus and push through challenges creates a living example of what is possible. Discipline demonstrates that success is earned, not given, and it inspires others to adopt similar habits in their own lives. Your actions create a standard that words alone could never enforce. Integrity is another cornerstone of leading by example. People are naturally drawn to those who are trustworthy and authentic. When you consistently make decisions that reflect your values, even when it is difficult or unpopular, you send a clear message about what matters. Integrity is shown in small, quiet moments, keeping promises, owning mistakes, treating others with respect, and doing the right thing when no one is watching. These moments accumulate over time, establishing credibility and influence that cannot be purchased or fabricated. Resilience amplifies the impact of your example. Life is full of setbacks, failures, and unexpected challenges. Leaders who respond with calm, persistence, and determination show others that obstacles are not the end of the journey but part of it. When people observe resilience in action, they learn that perseverance is possible, even in the face of adversity. Your ability to rise again after failure becomes a template that inspires courage in others, helping them see that their own difficulties can be overcome. Leading by example also fosters accountability. When others see your commitment to standards and values, it encourages them to hold themselves to higher levels as well. Leadership through action creates a culture of responsibility, effort, and integrity. People are motivated not by fear, but by respect and admiration for what you embody. In the end, words may guide, but actions define. By demonstrating discipline, integrity, and resilience consistently, you provide a roadmap for others to follow. Your example becomes the lesson, your behavior becomes the inspiration, and your influence extends far beyond what you could ever achieve with words alone. Leading by example is the essence of lasting impact, because what you live is what others will remember, emulate, and carry forward long after you are gone. Many people spend their lives chasing recognition, praise, and public approval. They measure success by the applause they receive, the titles they hold, or the followers who admire them. While recognition can feel rewarding in the moment, it is fleeting. Fame fades, accolades are forgotten, and validation is never permanent. If your focus is solely on being seen or acknowledged, your work becomes dependent on others' opinions, and your impact becomes limited by their attention. True legacy, however, is built not on recognition but on impact, the meaningful difference you make in the lives of others and the world around you. Focusing on impact requires a shift in perspective. It means asking yourself, who benefits from what I do, rather than how will I be noticed? When your efforts are guided by service rather than self-interest, they gain depth and significance. Uplifting others becomes a central goal, and your work transcends personal gain. Every time you inspire, teach, support, or empower someone, you create ripples that extend far beyond your immediate presence. Those ripples grow into waves, influencing people you may never meet in ways you may never witness. This is the power of impact over recognition. Passing on values is another essential element of building lasting impact. Recognition often focuses on achievements or status, but legacy is rooted in principles. The lessons you teach, the ethics you model, and the integrity you uphold have a lasting effect. When others see your example and carry those values forward, your influence continues indefinitely. People remember how you made them feel, the standards you set, and the courage you displayed long after they forget your awards or titles. Impact endures because it is tied to character, not appearances. Focusing on impact also frees you from the limitations of external validation. Fame is unpredictable and often uncontrollable, but meaningful influence is a direct result of your choices, habits, and commitment. By dedicating yourself to creating positive change, you reclaim ownership of your legacy. You are no longer at the mercy of opinions, trends, or social approval. Instead, you invest your energy in something that truly matters, helping others grow, solving problems, and leaving the world better than you found it. Sacrifice often accompanies this focus. Choosing impact over recognition may mean your work goes unnoticed at first, or that your contributions are quiet rather than celebrated. It requires humility, patience, and trust in the long-term effects of your actions. But this humility is not weakness, it is strength. It allows you to devote yourself fully to purpose rather than ego, and ensures that your influence will outlast the transient rewards of fame. Ultimately, the measure of a life well lived is not in how loudly it is applauded, but in how deeply it touches the lives of others. When you focus on impact instead of recognition, every action, choice, and effort becomes an investment in something larger than yourself. Your legacy is built not by the attention you receive today, but by the difference you create tomorrow, and the lives that continue to benefit long after you are gone. This is the essence of enduring influence, the quiet power of impact that outlasts fame, ensuring that your presence continues to inspire, uplift, and shape the world even when you are no longer there.